Have you ever looked around and wondered, how did I end up here? You wake up, go through the motions, try to hold everything together, and still feel like you're drifting in the middle of nowhere. Like life is happening to you, not with you. Because this isn't just a video. This is your moment. The moment where confusion meets clarity. The moment where being lost is no longer something to be ashamed of, but something to understand, explore, and grow from. Feeling lost doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. And sometimes, the most powerful transformations start in the darkest, most uncertain places. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a 10-year plan. What you need is to take a breath, take a step, and listen. Not to the world, not to the noise, but to something deeper, something honest. That's what this is, a conversation with the version of you that's been waiting to be heard. So let's start with this simple truth. It's okay to feel lost. Really let that sink in. We live in a world that tells us we need to know our purpose by age 18 and be successful, fulfilled, and settled before 30. But life doesn't follow a formula. People aren't spreadsheets. And your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Comparing your path to someone else's highlight reel is like judging a movie by just watching the trailer. You're not behind, you're not late. You're in the middle of becoming. When you feel lost, it's easy to panic, to believe you've messed up or missed your chance. But what if being lost isn't a detour, but the beginning of something important? What if the uncertainty you're re-feeling is life's way of pressing pause so you can reflect, realign, and redirect? Because here's the truth most people want to tell you. Clarity doesn't always come before action. Sometimes, it comes through action. You can't wait for everything to make sense before you take a step forward. That step itself might be the key. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, motion beats stagnation every single time. Standing still in confusion won't lead you anywhere, but walking heaven with doubt can bring you closer to answers. Feeling lost can actually be a gift. Think about it. When you're lost, you're more likely to ask questions. You're more open to growth. You're forced to dig deeper, to confront your thoughts, your patterns, and your values. It's uncomfortable, yes. But that discomfort, it's a signal that you're waking up, that you're paying attention. And paying attention is the first step to transformation. If you're feeling lost right now, start here. Start by asking yourself honest questions. Not what the world expects from you, but what you truly want. What excites you? What drains you? When do you feel alive? And when do you feel numb? These aren't easy questions, but they are necessary. And don't expect the answers to come all at once. Sometimes, the first answer is just a whisper, a nudge, a faint curiosity. Follow that. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just the next step. Maybe you're in a job that doesn't fulfill you. Maybe you're in a relationship that makes you feel invisible. Maybe you're surrounded by people who don't really know you. That's tough. But recognizing that something's not right is the beginning of everything. Awareness is powerful. Once you see the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you can start building the bridge. And no, it won't be easy. It might take time. You might stumble, doubt yourself, take wrong turns, but that's not failure. That's the process. Every person who has ever done something meaningful has felt lost at some point. Confusion is not the opposite of progress. Sometimes, it's part of the price. Let go of the pressure to have a 5-point plan. Let go of the need for everything to make sense right now. Sometimes, you just need space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to be still and silent long enough to hear yourself. Start small. Declutter your space. Take a walk without your phone. Write down what's been swirling in your mind. Have an honest conversation with someone you trust. Do something creative, even if it seems unrelated to your big goals, because creativity reconnects you to your essence. And when you reconnect with yourself, direction slowly begins to emerge. And while you're doing all this, remember to be kind to yourself. Self-judgment is one of the fastest ways to stay stuck. You wouldn't berate a friend for feeling lost, so why do it to yourself? You're doing the best you can with the information you have, and you're showing up right here, right now. That counts for more than you know. Sometimes the strongest people are not the ones who charge ahead with confidence, but the ones who admit they don't know what's next and choose to move forward anyway. Strength isn't about never feeling lost, it's about not giving up when you are. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity. Your value isn't measured by how certain you feel. You are allowed to be unsure. You are allowed to take a break. You are allowed to rediscover who you are at your own pace. You might not see it yet, but this moment of feeling lost could be the moment that changes everything. The moment that wakes you up to what matters. The moment that forces you to ask better questions, to build a stronger foundation, to stop living someone else's version of success and finally define your own. So if you're lost, here's what I want you to remember. You're not behind. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're in the middle of writing a story that doesn't need to look like anyone else's. And this chapter, this uncertain, messy, uncomfortable chapter is still part of the story, maybe even the most important part, because this is where resilience is born. This is where clarity starts to form. This is where you let go of who you thought you had to be and make space for who you really meant to become. Keep showing up, keep asking, keep breathing. The path ahead won't always be straight, But that doesn't mean it's not taking you somewhere worth going. You don't need to find all the answers today. You just need to trust that the answers will come. As long as you keep moving, as long as you keep listening, as long as you don't give up on yourself, even if the world doesn't understand what you're doing, even if it takes longer than you expected, even if you feel like you're wandering in circles, because sometimes wandering is not wasting time, it's gathering pieces, learning lessons, strengthening your soul for what's to come. You are not lost. You are becoming, and the version of you that's waiting on the other side of this, the one who finally feels aligned, clear, alive. They're already proud of how far you've come. They're cheering for you, waiting for you. So take a breath, take a step, and keep going. The road may be uncertain, but your growth is guaranteed if you stay in the game. This is your season of rediscovery, not your ending. Let it begin.